Hey guys, welcome back to another Project Life Process video, and I'm doing what I always do at first, figuring out where my photos are going to go so I can get this layout going. For this video, I am going to be incorporating my Take 10 kit from this month, so I hope you guys enjoy seeing how I'm going to use it so you get some ideas if you're subscribed to the kit. And if you're not, I'm going to leave a link in the description box below because this kit is awesome, you guys, and not just because I'm on the design team. It's like really cute this month, so I hope you guys go pick it up if you get a chance to because it's like such a good kit and so affordable. Some of the cards I'm thinking of using in this layout are also cards that I've designed in the past in my watercolor kit, and this one, which is a gold foiling card I created, which I'm going to do a tips and tricks video on that, so be sure to subscribe to my channel if you're not already. This is another card from the September Take 10 kit, and I'm contemplating which of these two I want to use for this kit, but like I go back and forth in between which cards I want to put where. That's another card as well, the one with the birch. I'm going to start off with this card, which is from the Take 10 kit, and it has like a rainbow chevron-y pattern, and I really like it, and I decided to create a pink border to go around it because I just wanted to emphasize the pink in this layout. I decided to use my duct tape to put that down so that I could kind of just maneuver it if I needed to, because sometimes I struggle with getting things perfectly lined up when I'm filming. But basically it's just great because it doesn't rip your paper, at least it doesn't for me, so, you know. I'm using some acrylic white paint right here just to kind of create a wash on the card so it has a little bit more of a muted, it kind of like tones it down a little bit just because that's the look I'm going for this specific layout. Certain parts I want to be a little bit more toned down so nothing takes away from the actual photos or anything else I'm doing. So this is a great way to kind of manipulate cards that you get when sometimes you want to get a specific look that's not currently there already. And now I'm just taking my picture and I'm going to tape it down, and it's acrylic paint dries really quickly, so that's another pro for me about it. Now I'm just getting a punch and I'm cutting basically a little circle, and I'm using the stamp set from the Take 10 kit, and I'm using that little phrase that says favorite photo and some Memento ink in Pear Tart, and I love that color green. It's really beautiful. And then I love that saying from that stamp set because basically it's something you could use over and over in Project Life, so that's another great thing about their stamp sets. They make them really versatile and things that are generally used. I'm just deciding where I want that circle because I know I'm going to be cutting parts off of it and just keeping it as one of the main embellishments because I don't, with all the color and things I have going on in patterns, I don't want to overdo this card by any means. Sometimes it's easy to go a little overboard in Project Life. For me especially too, you kind of have to know when to just stop, so I usually try to do that because I mean, worst case scenario, you can always go back and add something if you decide it does need it. And I love the way that actually looked. I thought it was perfect. And now I'm going to use some of these chevrons that come in the kit, and they're super pretty. They're like wood veneer and enamel all at the same time, and I used 2 of the orange and 1 of the pink. And you guys already know I love Pink Fresh Studio, so the fact that it brings some Pink Fresh Studio product, I'm like, yes, on board. Right now I'm trying to figure out how exactly I want to line up this photo. I love my Instax pictures. I decided on watercolors, of course. Because I just wanted to like incorporate some of the colors, because this layout is basically going to be across from the layout I created in my last process video, so I wanted to kind of have like coordinating features, so I decided to add some blues and pinks onto this card, and a little bit of greens just to incorporate all the colors that I'm going to be having in the actual layout itself. I didn't incorporate more orange, but that's because I felt with the pattern paper already being orange and all of that, it didn't need it. So that's when it comes back down to the design you're using. And I'm also using that Becky Higgins corner punch, which I picked up at Michael's. I know a lot of people complain about it, but I haven't really had many issues with it. I'm using some wood grain paper just to frame the back of that little paper, just to make it stand out just that much more. And I really like the way it looks. I believe that's from a 6x6 pad I had from Studio Calico that had some cut down paper. So I just added that there just to create like a more, just so you could see it a little bit more. And I'm adding some tape runner directly to the back of that photo. It works perfect, and I really haven't had any issues with that. So there you go. And I'm keeping that card somewhat simple, and I'm just trying to make sure that I'm aligning it correctly. And these are the tags that I printed out that Take 10 is going to have to go and match with the kit. They are so cute, and they're $1, and They give you the SVG and everything, and you can use your Cameo to cut these out like I did. But you could also do them by hand if you don't have a Cameo, which is the great thing about them. They're not like overly hard, and they're great for layering, and the best part is that they match the kit, which sometimes it's hard to find coordinating things that match certain kits. So it's nice when, you know, it kind of makes it easy for you and takes the guesswork out of it. So I really love those, and I really wanted to incorporate those into this layout because I was like, these are super cute. I'm like a label fanatic. I love all types of labels. And then I'm using a Heidi Swapp chipboard heart piece. That's from her gold foil collection. My friend, she got the kit and she split the stuff with me because she's super sweet. And so I'm using a heart from that because I thought it would be perfect, and I love using hearts and stars in my project life layouts if you guys haven't noticed. And now I'm just adding a little bit of journaling to that picture just so that I can just have something to fill that space, and then also just to kind of commemorate the moment of more DIY craft stuff. So of course that's what that photo is. And if you notice, if you can see it, like I'm wearing a tie-dye shirt, and so is my friend, because we both made tie-dye shirts that day, so it was really fun. And I'm also using a gold foil arrow from the same Heidi Swapp kit that heart came from, which is super cute. I love all the little extra elements that you get in that set. That's just for those things. I feel like that kit's worth it, even if you're not super in love with the cards. But I am super in love with the cards too, so yeah, it's super cute, and I thought it was just the perfect element to kind of like balance that out. But like I said, you can always go back and add things. And now I'm using my We Are Memory Keepers punch. You kind of have to put your weight in it to get it going. I know a lot of people tend to have issues with this punch, but mine's worked perfectly, and I love it when I'm in a pinch and I don't want to take out the cuddle bug and everything like that. So there you go, and I did round it with my Becky Higgins corner rounder off camera. And I'm using my watercolors again because you guys know I'm obsessed with watercolors. I love this card with the birch trees and everything, but I really felt like for my layout I wanted to add something to it. So this is when it comes back down to manipulating your project life cards. Like, you seriously need to make them work for you, and that's what I love doing that because it kind of makes them stand out and not look like what anyone else would do with their card. So I just added a few touches of pinks and oranges to that, and now I'm adding this piece of chipboard I had from a Past Pebbles collection. You know that camping one they had? That's where it's from, and I loved the color green of it, and I felt like it went great with this layout. And I love that it says life is beautiful. It's just a cute saying, and I thought it went perfect. And then I decided to take out my tiny staple gun, any excuse to use the mini staple gun, and I am on it. And I just felt like it gave it a really cute little detail because the staples are gold and I have gold running throughout my layout, so I was like, why not? And then this card, which I really loved, and I can't wait to do a separate video on showing you guys how I created that gold foil effect. So be sure to subscribe so you can see that. And right now I'm just using another one of the many labels that came in that printed file that you get if you decide to buy it off of the Take 10 Kit website. It's super cute, and I wanted to use that flare just to go in there in the middle so you get a little bit of pop of orange, but at the same time it emphasizes the flare. And I'm just using a glue dot, which works perfectly for a flat back flare. And it adds a perfect little detail to that because I really didn't want to add much to the photo, and it speaks for itself, and I love the way that looks. Now I'm working on my next card, and this is just a Becky Higgins, one of those graph cards that you can pick up at Michael's, and a Vellum little pocket. It's a library pocket that I used from a die, but you can make your own pocket easily, and you guys know I'm obsessed with Vellum, so any excuse to use more Vellum. And plus, since I did use it on the other half of my layout, which was on my previous video, which I will link below in case you haven't seen my previous video, so this really matched perfectly. I wanted to keep on with the theme of having vellum throughout it, and not too much, but just little touches. And plus, I like being able to see through pockets that I create so I know what I'm looking at. And again, I'm using my tiny attacher basically. Any excuse to use this thing. It's so cute, and the staples are gold, you guys, so it's like, it doesn't get any cuter than that if you ask me. And I've been wanting to use it for a while anyway, so, because I don't really use it too often. And see, my movie tickets fit perfectly inside there. It's like, they look so cute. I'm like, I don't know, I love the way that that looks. Maybe it's because I'm a sucker for vellum. And again, I am taking out my watercolors, because like I've told you guys, it's something I do all the time. I love it. It's a great way to add color and splatter effects. And I've always loved the messy look, even before it was like super popular. I've always been someone who like enjoys creating that messy look. And if you even look at my old mixed media videos, you can see that. So that's basically what I'm doing, is just creating a splatter effect. And then I'm taking my brush and kind of creating my own faux little splatter dots, because since my brush is tiny, it's not giving me the biggest droplets, but I like small and medium-sized ones, so I don't like them to be too big. And then I'm picking up my Heidi Swapp Gold spray, the minis that she came out with, and I really love that gold spray, so I decided just to add a little bit of the gold splatter just to keep on with my gold theme, just add a little touch of something. And then that's a stamp set from Studio Calico that I've had for a while. It's an old set, and I'm just using the alpha so that I can kind of title a card, like, so it's like, you know, it's official, it's a movie card, but obviously it's pretty self-explanatory with the movie tickets and all. And I just used my archival sepia ink, and I'm now using another stamp from the Take 10 kit, and that's the one that creates those diagonal lines for journaling. I think they're perfect, but you could do other things with them as well if you get creative. And I used them in my previous sneak peek kit that I did of the kit where I showed you me making a Project Life card using some of the stamp sets. So if you guys haven't seen that, I'll try and link that below as well. But I love creating little areas for journaling, and I love how the lines aren't perfectly straight. I like that kind of like whimsical quirkiness to it. And then that's some cork that I had die cut, so it's like an off circle, and I'm layering it with another one of those labels that I printed out. I'm telling you guys, labels are so useful. It's like you can create all your own little embellishments and elements without having a bunch of supplies if you have some basics like labels and a few chipboard pieces. So, you know, don't think that you can't create your own embellishments or, you know, add certain special details to your card without having a bunch of supplies. I'm adding a gold foil, a star, and that's also from that same Heidi Swapp kit that I was talking about earlier. And now I'm going to add some sequins to this card. This sequence also came from the Take 10 kit, and I already decided what I wanted to use. I used one of the blues, the gold one, obviously to go along with my theme as well, and then the little baby pink one that's going to be all the way there. And it kind of just helps balance out the card because I felt like I needed something in that corner without overpowering one of the elements that I just created, but at the same time it's just kind of, I don't know, it adds a little touch of bling, and it's good to kind of switch in between enamel dots and sequins. I get tired of just using the same thing, so I like to switch it up, and I feel like enamel dots and sequins kind of create the same sort of effect in a layout. It's kind of balancing. And now I'm just adding some journaling to my card, just so that I can commemorate, you know, the movie nights. And if you're not someone who journals a lot, you know, you don't have to necessarily journal here, but you could add a quote between those lines versus adding journaling. So that's just an idea in case you're not like a huge journaler. I don't always journal. Sometimes I add quotes. This is another card from the Take 10 kit, and I absolutely love this one because I love geometric shapes and lines, and it's just so cute. I love everything about this card, and I decided I wanted to do something special for this card, but of course my camera ended up cutting out at a certain portion, but you guys will see the card in my overall finished layout. And this is another card that I'm working on as well, and I'm just rounding out the corners, and this one is just some leftovers that I had from a Studio Calico card, and that quote card is from the Take 10 kit, and I love that quote. I thought it was perfect, and I loved the navy with the baby blue, and I wanted to line it with some gold paper that I had from, I believe, a DCWV stack or something I picked up at Joann's. And of course, since I hoard my gold foil, since usually a pack only brings like 2 sheets, I did cut out the middle just because they're, you know, no one's gonna notice anyway, so that's a quick little trick there. And it adds like the perfect mat to that little quote card, and that's another way to use a card when necessarily you don't have the same pockets to have it in, but there's different ways to use those cards. And then I decided to add one of those ombre wood veneers I created, and if you guys saw my watercolor video where I did the DIY ombre wood veneers, and you know how I created this, again using watercolors, and I'll leave a link in the description box below, and it's just perfect for this card if you ask me. I feel like it just gives it the perfect look. And then I decided to add some enamel dots to this card, some of my Studio Calico ones I had, and then I'm just using my little silhouette spatula thing to get those off there, which is not exactly the perfect tool for that, but it gets the job done. So I just picked up what I had at the moment, and now I'm trying to decide if I feel like it needs something else or I need to change it up, but I did end up changing it up, and I used 2 pinks and a green for that one. And now I'm just stamping out some elements for that one card that's going to end up cutting off, so I'm sorry about that, y'all. So this is the card you guys basically didn't get to see me do, but all I did was create a wash on this card as well, add some stamping, a few elements, labels, and then I did my own brush script in paint. So I hope you guys do like the card, and I added some Studio Calico wood grain alpha, and sorry you guys didn't get to see me actually create it, but I figured I'd insert this photo so you guys could see it. And this is the Take 10 kit that I used for this video, you guys, so be sure to check out the description box for links to that, and I hope you guys enjoyed seeing me use this kit. If you guys are liking these videos, be sure to thumbs up, like, and subscribe, and comment because I love to hear from you guys. Thanks so much for watching as always. Love you guys. Bye.